Can you tell me your first and last name and spell it for me?
Jonathan Lobbins. JONATHANLOBBINS.
And how old are you?
19 years old.
And what's your major?
Biological sciences.
What's your hometown?
San Diego, California.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
In which county/state?
Texas, Dallas County.
Okay. If yes, are you registered with one party and which one?
No, I'm not currently registered with a party.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being a lot, how much have you paid attention to the presidential campaigns?
6.
Where do you get your information about the presidential campaigns?
Various sources, but mainly MSNBC.
Have you watched any of the presidential debates?
Slightly.
Which candidate are you currently supporting?
Bernie Sanders, I think.
What separates that candidate from others?
Well, his ideals really align with my beliefs, so that really helps me as a voter.
What values do you favor most in a presidential candidate?
It's ironic, but trustworthiness is definitely up there. They have to have an obvious vision that they can express, so they have to be very well spoken. They have to bring charisma, definitely. And I think above anything else, they have to really, I feel like as a voter, you have to connect with so they have to give off a good vibe, if that makes sense.
What turns you away from a candidate?
Background, whether it be financial, anything. If I can't almost directly align with your history or what's coming out of your mouth or anything else, then I think that kind of sways me away.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very poor and 10 being highly favorable, how would you rate Donald Trump as a president?
A 3.
How would you rate Hillary Clinton as a president?
A 6.
How would you feel about a female president, not just Clinton, but any woman?
I think that's really, it's cool, but at the same time, I don't want it to be solely based on the fact that she's a female. I feel like it has to be on, she has to bring something to the table. You can't just be oh, hey, she's a woman, I'm going to vote for her. Kind of like in 2008, everybody felt like President Obama got elected because of his color. I feel like you can't really base that. You have to actually listen to the candidate, so they have to give off the ideals.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no confidence and 10 being highly confident, how confident are you in the country's electoral process?
A 6.
What party best reflects your values?
I'm a mix, actually. I lean left, but I have an equal amount of conservative ideas.
What party do your parents support?
My parents are lunch bucket Democrats.
And what do you think are the 3 most important issues currently facing this country?
Healthcare, overseas relations, and the school system.
Can you please tell me your first and last name and spell it?
Courtney Poole. Courtneypool.
How old are you?
20 years old.
What's your major?
Therapeutic recreation.
And where are you from?
I am from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes, I am.
In which county and state?
El Paso County, Colorado.
Are you registered with one party and which one?
I do not believe so.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being a lot, how much attention have you paid to the presidential campaign?
I'd say like a 4 or a 5 at this point.
Where do you get your information about the presidential campaign?
Honestly, a lot of it I get from social media, links to news articles and things like that.
Have you watched any of the presidential debates?
No, I have not.
Which candidate are you currently supporting?
I am undecided.
Why hasn't one candidate gained your support?
Probably because I haven't looked much into each of the candidates yet. Once it gets closer to the election, I plan on deciding that, but, yeah. I still have yet to look deep into the issues in each candidate's stance.
Which values do you favor most in a presidential candidate?
What do you mean?
Like, in a presidential candidate, what values do you look at the most? Like, what values are most important to you?
I guess compassion is my number one thing. I think sometimes it's easy to get involved in politics and just look at the business side, but you can't do that. You have to look at the human side of things. So for me, that's a big one. That they have compassion as their bottom line.
What turns you away from a candidate?
Kind of like I just mentioned, like when they're too focused on the business and the politics of everything, and when they don't seem authentic in their debates or statements or press conferences or anything like that. I don't like that. Or if they're very, very strongly against or for kind of any issue, because I feel like compromise is really important too. So if they're super against something or super for something, whether I support it or not, I don't really think that's good. I think they need to be more moderate.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very poor and 10 being very highly favorable, how would you rate Donald Trump as a president?
Like a 2.
How would you rate Hillary Clinton as a president?
Like a 3.
How would you feel about a female president, not just Clinton, but any woman?
I think it's great. If they're the best person for the job, then they're the best person for a job. I don't think it matters their race, their ethnicity, anything like that. Or gender.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no confidence and 10 being highly confident, how confident are you in the country's electoral process?
I would say like a 7. I mean, I know like the textbook version of how it's supposed to go down and everything like that, but I don't pay attention to it in the real world all that much. Especially the things leading up to the presidential, like actual election.
What party best reflects your values?
I'm pretty libertarian, I would say, but I tend to lean more Republican than Democrat, but I kind of don't really agree with just having two parties, so I don't really like to affiliate strongly with either one.
What party do your parents support?
Republican.
And what do you think are the 3 most important issues currently facing this country?
Let's see.
Like, what are the most important issues to you in your everyday life?
I think our education system needs some help, needs some reform in the way that it's headed, with standard testing and things like that. I think that needs some attention and some funding, for sure. And then foreign relations with the Middle East, that's kind of an ongoing issue, but especially with ISIS right now, protecting our country and our troops, both when they're over there and when they come home. And I think abortion laws, just because they need to get sorted out, not necessarily specifically for abortions, but I know there's been cases where, like, say a woman who's pregnant gets assaulted and her baby dies, is that murder kind of thing? Like, we need to establish when life begins as far as legal issues are concerned.
Can you tell me your first and last name and spell it?
Dallas Rehberg, DallasRehberg.
And how old are you?
20.
What's your major?
Industrial Engineering and Management.
And what's your hometown?
Keller, Texas.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
In which county and state?
Payne County, Oklahoma.
Are you aware of the November 10th election on transportation tax?
Nope.
Are you registered with one party, and which one?
I'm not affiliated.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being a lot, how much have you paid attention to the presidential campaign?
Probably like a 4.
Where do you get your information about the presidential campaign?
Social media mostly, and then like news outlets, CNN probably.
Have you watched any of the presidential debates?
I watched parts of the Republican debate.
Which candidate are you currently supporting?
I don't really have one that I'm supporting, I'd say.
Why hasn't one candidate gained your support?
Probably just because I don't know enough information about all of them to make a good decision yet.
What values do you favor most in a presidential candidate?
Probably... Wait, what, values?
Yeah, what values?
Oh... Like... foreign policy emphasis, or like emphasis on it. Like I'm confused by the question.
What do you look for most in like a presidential candidate? Like what makes them?
Experience, I'd say, is probably the top one. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably about it.
What turns you away from a candidate?
Like, lack of confidence, probably, or arrogance, or, yeah, I don't know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very poor, with 10 being highly favorable, how would you rate Donald Trump as a president?
Probably like a 2.
How would you rate Hillary Clinton as a president?
I would say like a 7, 6. I don't know.
How would you feel about a female president, not just Clinton, but any woman?
I don't have a problem with it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no confidence and 10 being highly confident, how confident are you in the country's electoral process?
A 9.
What party best reflects your values?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't really identify with a party, like Republican or Democrat anyway.
What party do your parents support?
My parents are Republicans.
And what do you think are the 3 most important issues currently facing this country?
The economic debt, let's see, foreign policy in like the Middle East, and probably like social issues, gay rights, things like that.
Your first and last name.
Yes. Mia Milliner.
Can you spell that for me?
Miamilliner.
And how old are you?
18.
And what is your major?
Biology. Or biological science.
And where are you from?
Arlington, Texas.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes. No.
Why haven't you registered?
I just haven't. I haven't made time for it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being a lot, how much attention have you paid to the presidential campaign?
Like 2 because of Snapchat.
Why haven't you been following the campaign closely?
To be honest, I've never been a really political person, and neither has my family, so I never gave it much importance either. I didn't know people were into that stuff.
Have you watched any of the presidential debates?
No.
Which candidate would you currently support?
If I had to choose, the only person I know besides Donald Trump is Ben Carson. He's a neurologist, right? Okay, I know him.
What separates him from others?
He has the same major. He has the same goals as me, meaning neurology.
What values do you favor most in a presidential candidate?
It'd have to be either his professionalism, how professional he is with his work. It's not just. I don't know. It's a good question.
What turns you away from a candidate?
It has to be the way he talks about certain things.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very poor and 10 being highly favorable, how would you rate Donald Trump as a president?
Can I do 0? There, boys.
How would you rate Hillary Clinton as a president?
I know nothing about her, so I choose a woman, so she gets a 5.
How would you feel about a female president, not just Clinton, but any woman?
I think if she's she's qualified, I have no problem in it.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no confidence and 10 being highly confident, how confident are you in the country's electoral process?
Can you repeat the question?
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no confidence at all and 10 being highly confident, how confident are you in the country's electoral process?
If I remember correctly from my class, I think it's pretty poor, so I give it like a 3, because they're kind of biased to me, if I remember correctly. 'Cause that's not the people, right? Yeah, no.
What party best reflects your values?
If I had to choose, it'd be a Democrat, I think, but my dad has preached to me that I need to do my own research, but I'm going off what my parents are.
What party do your parents support?
Democrat.
And what do you think are the 3 most important issues currently facing this country? Like, what are the most important issues to you in your everyday life?
I haven't done the research. I guess the biggest one, since I'm a woman, it'd be equal pay, right? Oh, I wish I was political.
Well, what are 3 issues that are like most important to you? Like in society, or in the world, or in the country, I guess. In your everyday life.
My everyday life, I would guess it'd be that whole gay marriage thing. I think they should not make it such a big deal.
No more.
I guess it'd be like the law enforcement and how they how it's that whole it's the white cop black kid thing.
All right.
Is that it?